Opening line: welcome to this crazy story, where Hayashi hurries to meet her sister. But from the seating arrangement, it's clear that the sister is totally uninterested in Hayashi, even acting awkward like she's been caught with a secret. So she quickly faked fatigue to wrap up that suffocating moment. Meanwhile, Tae just handed over the last bit of data to Waishai. Just as Tae was about to leave, Waishai calls out to him. Of course, in their chat, Waishai caught a whiff of juicy gossip. To interrupt her sister's gossip, the future suddenly brought up the meeting with Hayashi, which made Waishai get serious because she hadn't had the chance to clear things up lately. When her sister said Hayashi was grateful, Waishai felt guilt so dramatic. Turns out, the sister denied her relationship with Hayashi until Waishai mentioned she saw them hugging. The sister finally said painfully, "I was really hurting that day." Oh yes, fainting in Hayashi's arms when sick. To keep her family from worrying, she asked Hayashi to keep her illness under wraps, and when the truth came out, Waishai freaked out. She sprinted through the plaza like a kite in a storm until her foot injury flared up again. Remember, her injury wasn't that serious back then. But because Hayashi couldn't clearly explain the hug, she casually agreed to date a boy. Then out of spite, she yanked off her cast, resulting in a shattered ankle. And then, she waved goodbye to college's sight she couldn't bear to see. The next day, she confidently handed the project report to the team leader, only to be picked apart like it was trash. A total plot twist. Told the demolition report would be taken by the leader, Waishai's world collapsed. Then, as Hayashi prepared to rest, Waishai's call suddenly came. Why? Her voice sounded like she'd had a few too many, yet she hadn't lost her sanity just yet. She was still trying to clarify what happened on the mountain using her sisterly wisdom because in her mind, Hayashi definitely climbed up herself. Let's give it a try, she thought to herself. Can I really escape from this? Finally, Hayashi spilled the beans. That day, she didn't even believe she could reach the top. Halfway, she wanted to give up a million times, but when she saw classmates coming down from the peak without a sign of Waishai, she figured Waishai must be waiting at the top for her, otherwise, she'd never trust herself again. During that memory, the smile that twitched at the corner of her mouth was etched in her mind, yet she forgot to notice how Waishai's gaze was getting more determined. Speaking of which, this somewhat funny confession popped up out of nowhere. I like you too, however. Who do you have feelings for now? Me too. This was Waishai's last memory. She felt utterly embarrassed. However, the crucial words slipped her mind. Who was that person behind Sister Lei Wailai or herself Lei Waishai? But before she could even wonder, the door suddenly swung open. You're awake. That little expression was simply spot on. If someone is drunk, they should be taken home. Didn't I take her home? What did I do wrong yesterday? What was wrong? Next was Waishai's attempt to dodge the confession, while Hayashi's eyes started to shift, a clear indication of hiding something. Because something really important happened last night, Hayashi had clearly lost the courage she had when saying she liked Waishai. She skillfully used the excuse of being late for work to wrap up the awkward conversation, an impressive move. However, upon arriving at the office, Waishai was whisked away for a meeting. Though puzzled, seeing the president chair, it clarified things. In an instant, she understood. Even though the team leader snatched the project report, they were clueless about the president's questions. She kept reminding from the sidelines, and soon the meeting turned into a direct dialogue between her and the president. What's your name? Mr. Yumala. Turning back, she saw the leader and manager Choi envious. But there was no way to silence them. So, when Waishai was recognized for her contribution, a mysterious card suddenly appeared on the table, with sweet nothings like sorry for making you bear everything written on the back. Signed by phone, which instantly reminded Waishai of the turn in the internal whistleblowing case. This was called gossip in high places. Then manager Choi outsourced the demolition legal work to the top law firm in Korea, where Hayashi had previously worked. When she saw the person in charge, Lee Wailai, the guy flashed a sly smile, like a cat catching a mouse. After all, the reason Hayashi resigned was that she used her relationship with Wailai to get him to drop the whistleblowing case. This move felt like a victory in humiliation, walking around with top-secret documents. Such things are indisputably confidential. The light rail project proposal, just the compensation for the landlord, could multiply tenfold. Perfect timing. Today was the landlord's discharge from the hospital. She casually stuffed the proposal into her bag. The next day, she was like a headless chicken, rummaging for the proposal. Her eyes almost popped out. Just then, Hayashi was cleaning the storage room and found an unknown watch under the bed, dialing up the mystery owner immediately. Little did she know, the owner blurted out, "That police badge is still here." Great, just great. Even if Hayashi didn't want to know, she realized that, according to legal knowledge, leaking classified documents is no joking matter. This could count as fraud against the landlord, and everyone's expressions suggested as much. But before she could tell the landlord took out the proposal first. This is where the suspense unfolds.